Candice,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for asking me. This is exciting. It's the first time we've actually been face to face. We've chatted on the phone and stuff, but we haven't had a conversation in person.
Yeah.
So, well,
So
sort
I
of.
know Candice and I are battle buddies in that project words. So we have lots of fun doing interviews and on social media.
Chica, I'm hearing some problem with your audio. Is that mine or is that yours?
I hear me. Let's see if I can fix some. While I'm messing let's start out with and how you got real estate.
Sure. How did I get started in real estate? Because of Pace Morby, because he put so many YouTube videos out there that you can't not pay attention. And my daughter is in it as well. So she dragged me along. And the funny story is we started watching the Elephant Challenge and part in that. And Gator wasn't open at the time. We were driving to Pennsylvania to see family, and the Gator opened up, and we literally pulled aside, pulled out the credit card, and joined like on the side of the road because it was that important to be in on it. So it was good for a lot of reasons. It was taking action. It was showing Haley that we're in it together, and just that it could be so much that I was just going to jump in and be part of all of it. So that's where it started. So that was good. Say it again. I'm sorry.
How long have you been in?
That was the end. It was, I think it was November of 2022 that we started that. And she went in almost immediately into Astro. And so has a great community over there. And so she's doing all that on that side, and the Discord and all the pieces and parts, the RER reply. So she's learned all the technical side of it. And it's kind of like, oh, you can tell you're my daughter because I'm all in on the technical side. And so it's been fun to see that grow. And should I keep going? It'll just keep building.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind messing with all these.
That's crazy. Are you doing this?
Maybe I need to do keep going. So you're more of the Astro side, you're doing more of the part 2 side?
Yeah, I am. I'm doing the creative credit side with Creative Credit Partners with Jake, Fillerette, and the whole team. And that started in March at a Subto meetup in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Jake and Angela and I were all there. And he said, come to my Zoom on Wednesday. We'll talk about it. And long story short, 5 people showed up, 5 women and Jake. And we started a company. And so we help people on that side. And then right after that, I joined Subto. So we're all Gators. We're all Subto. I couldn't be the odd man out. I had to join too. And it's so good because they all have such deep roots in real estate. I'm the new person, the one who knows, I like to joke, I know the least. But that's okay because I'm the tech person. I'm the integrator. I build the processes and the website and the way for us to communicate, because when you have 6 people on a team, an email string gets a little hairy. So that's been sort of my piece of the puzzle, and they welcome me with open arms, and I learn every day. So it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride, and get to meet people like you who reached out, which was so cool. It was on one of those Zooms. It was scrolling by so fast, and I saw Jade, who wants to partner up? And I went, that's the person. Because I was odd man out on that. I really, I had a lot of stuff going on, and I didn't have a chance to to reach out. And all of a sudden, just worked. And it turns out that you know people I know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, as it happens. Now you're in Texas.
I am in Texas.
And so tell me about since we're going to go back and forth here, tell me about your background in real estate. I know it's a lot longer than mine. And let's hear more about it.
Yeah. Quick. From my microphone because Brendan said he thinks maybe your mic repeating or echoing.
It's on Candice's mic. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Brendan. We'll see how it goes.
So let's see if it's doing it. Oh, did it go away? Maybe Brendan was right. So I've been in real estate for 4 years now. Started out wholesaling, and then I did that while I was in college and decided to get my real estate agent license at the same time. So I've been an active realtor for the past several years. And he said, that sounds perfect. So I've been a realtor for the past several years. We purchased a duplex. We've been house hacking, but I wasn't really doing the investor side of things. I was just doing the traditional real estate side of things. And then it came to a point where I was like, I never really wanted to be a full-time agent. I've always wanted to be an investor. So I need to kind of backtrack and get back to where I wanted to be at. And so that's when I joined Subto. And it took me a while to get some traction, but now I'm much more on the investor side than I am the traditional side. I still do both, but now I'm doing what I want to do.
So I'm getting a chance turning my mic on. So tell me more about that. Like when you say the traditional side versus the investor side, how did you make that transition? How did you make those connections? And what did that look like?
Yeah, so I started out on the investor side and of course doing bigger pockets, and I went to a conference and that's where I was introduced to wholesaling. And I got my first wholesale deal really quickly within a couple months by just driving for dollars and sending letters. And I made $10K on my first one where I had no idea what I was doing. So that was like all the proof of concept I needed. And I was like, this is the thing. Now, why I decided to stop doing that and be an agent, that was a mistake, I would say. But that's what I decided to do. I thought maybe being an agent was a career choice, but I quickly learned that being a real estate agent is very much a job and there's no financial freedom, right? If you go taking vacation, you're losing money and it's really hard to make it a business and not a job. So that's when I was like, let me backtrack and go back to being an investor where I can build wealth and an actual business.
That makes so much sense. And you learned that right out the gate, right? Like it didn't take you long to realize that real estate in the traditional sense wasn't for you.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I'm kind of in the same boat. I don't want to become especially at my age, don't want to become a real estate agent. That's too much. That's a lot of work and a lot of responsibility and nights and weekends and holidays. And there are too many factors that they're not dependent on how hard you work. And for, doing it this way, it just makes it so much easier to work with people and see that come up time and time again, that you're going to make more money, in this case, more money faster. And it's all dependent on you. It's dependent on how much time you put in, and no one's telling you work nights. Although, did you notice a lot of us are on late at night? Because a lot of us, it's a W-2 during the day and then investing at night. And that's where you can find a lot of people. But it's as much as you're willing to put in, you're going to get back. It's not dependent on it. Does the anything at the agency or anything going on that's out of your purview. So I like that.
I think that you can help more on the investor. So being an agent, you are helping people sell their properties and you're helping people buy their first homes. But the investor side is more like, especially when it comes to creative, right? We're helping people that are literally writing checks to go sell their houses. And on the agent side, I can't necessarily prevent that from happening. And on the investor side, we can, and we deal with foreclosures and all these situations where agents don't know how to deal with that, or maybe don't have the authority to deal with that. So yeah, I think you can make more money and you can help more people.
Agreed. And it's different every day. Like
Mhm.
I find, and not just simply because I'm newer to the investing side of it. It's just, you can see so quickly how you can impact someone's life.
Exactly.
There's definitely a draw to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So found avatar is in investing, and in Subto we have the whole avatar series, what you should focus on, what fits your personality. Have you gone through that and kind of figured out what avatar fits you the best?
I am full on integrator. That's just where I sit. Someone says, here's a problem, here's what we need to do. And I'm jumping in going, we could do it this way, or we could do it that way. And so my background is B2B SaaS software. And so in my W-2, which I still have one, I'm working on it. That is where I sit. I run customer success for a B2B software company based in Silicon Valley. So my days are spent teaching people how to, especially marketers, how to integrate software and how to be strategic and build out the different pieces and parts of the platform. So that's kind of where I sit. And I have a marketing background, so I'm sort of used to that whole stack that you need to have the right tool for the job. So when we first started with Creative Credit, we started out with 6 people on text messages. And I'm like, this has got to stop. You cannot run a company off of text messages. So immediately we started looking at something very low tech so that we could just have the ability to be flexible and build out our processes and not be beholden to a whole big contract with something that we didn't need. And so we were able to say, okay, well, this doesn't work, but we need to move something over here, et cetera. And then pulled it all into Slack. So Slack is our lifeline. As we update things, it flows over. And so we're adding pieces and parts. Right now, I've added a CRM. And the cool part is if you don't like it, you can change it. So sort of where I'm at right now. I'm like, is this doing what I thought it would do? I'm reevaluating everything. And I just might tear it all down and rebuild it. Well, that'll be my weekend. Yeah.
Do you have any tips for other on how to be successful as an integrator?
Yeah, there's a few things that I would say. I'd say listen to your team. What are their pain points, and don't try and solve everything at once. Take your time. Make steps forward always, and then don't be afraid to go tear it down if it doesn't work. It's not concrete. If they're saying they can't, they're not getting messages, well, what does that look like? Or they need to be more responsive. How can we fix that? So I think that's like the main thing, because it depends on how you work. So some people don't ever sign into email. That's why the Slack. Some people live in email and don't touch Slack. But if we have both, then everybody can see wherever they jump in the process and where we are flowing across that pipeline, then you're golden. But don't be the bright and shiny object syndrome can definitely hit a few people. Well, I should get this, or someone recommended that. That's great. But if it doesn't serve the purpose, if it doesn't fix the problem and doesn't give you the visibility or the flexibility that you're looking for, then it's a waste of money and time. Definitely time.
That's a really good. Yeah, listen to figure out how to solve problems. I like that a lot. Integrators are so needed because you can be a great closer, be great at generating leads, but if you don't know how to stay organized and keep your business actually flowing forward, then you get stopped really quickly in your tracks. I think it can helpful if you talked about the creative partners. I don't think a lot of people know what that is or what you guys do. So maybe you can talk about that and let people know what you guys are doing.
Sure. So Creative Credit Partners, it was the brainchild of Jake Villarette. And if you guys are all over Gator, you'll see videos of Jake Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I think it is, where he does sales calls and answers questions. But the main thing is what Creative Credit Partners does is partners with people who may have the money but not have the credit. So you can't get a loan, you want to move forward, you want to do all the things in real estate, but it takes time to build up the credit. It takes time to build up the funds to do what you want to do. And just as people use Gator or Subto to, go through those processes and make everything kind of flow, creative credit partners to do liquidity, do credit sponsorship, go on, do a JV, go together. And yes, hey, I recognize that Dana invests over there.
Cool.
So we go together with everyone, and we help make those deals go through. We use our credit. They bring the deal to us. They bring what they have, and then we sort of solve the problem. What do you need? Do you need EMD? Are you looking for PML? What does that look like? And so we're super flexible as we work our way through that deal. And because everybody has like a different piece and part. Jake has his knowledge, which is so deep and broad. And then Jacqueline, he just mentioned Jacqueline. She's all multifamily, and we have realtors, Morgan, my gosh, Sonia King, Morgan, and Angela. We're all together, and we kind of pull it all together at Creative Credit. So that's cool. It's a cool concept, right? Like when you mention it to people, they're like, I never thought of that. I never knew it could happen, but it's we do LLCs and do it all legally and help people move forward. So it's really interesting to see the stuff that comes across and how creative people are and what they want to do and where it starts and where it can go. It's really kind of fun. I'm having a blast.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So you're doing credit partners, you're doing Subto, Gator, and you also have a full-time W-2. How are you balancing all of that?
Sleep is highly overrated. You get up in the morning and you do what you can, as long as you're working on it and you have a plan, you're fine. I take calls on lunch. I sit down at the end of the day, and it's usually checking email, making sure everything's in the pipeline, things are getting answered, people know what's coming up. I'm kind of gatekeeper on that side of it. So it's just making sure everything's flowing. It'd be great to not have a W-2 one day, but right for now, it's okay. It's all right. Cause I think I'd get bored otherwise. Would I love to have more time to have more conversations, dive into the vaults more and watch more training. I think that's always a challenge. I don't watch television. It's probably one of the things that people think is really weird, but I don't. It's I don't have time, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it in years.
That's really
How about
good.
you? How do you do it all? Tell me about your story.
Full-time. So I mean, I treat it like a job. I get up and get to work, and I said like I said on a podcast yesterday, I've had a bad habit lately of not necessarily working on self-development. So I've been in the mode of as soon as I wake up, my laptop's in my face until like the minute I go to bed at midnight or 1 or whatever. But I get really bored really fast, and I'm one of those people that I like constantly have to be doing something, or I don't know, it's just a mental thing. So I'm like constantly doing some emails or
So I'm going to speak to the fact that you are an amazing battle buddy. You really are. I lucked out when I answered and you responded. Because you have, even though I have all these things going on, I do want to do this, and I do want to dive into self-development and do more of these conversations and learn more. I want to learn so much from you, because I just think that you bring such value to the community, and I've watched your videos, and I think it's fantastic what you're doing, and I'm thrilled to be working on this with you. And Yeah, she's sort of learning that you will get it. You might not get it right that minute, but you will get it. Be patient with me, and I will be on it. But there are times when it's trying to do juggle all the plates can get a little hairy, and and you have a life. And I told you I showed up here. I was soaking wet from getting ready for the hurricane, working on the farm. It's my daughter's place, so like everybody has that though, right? Like I'm not unique. I'm not unusual. Everybody in this community has something to give and something that they're doing and a pet project and a family and a lot of us have W-2s just yet, but we're working in to build that elusive generational wealth that we're always referring to it, and we're all going to get to. So I love that piece. But yeah, I'm not unusual. You're not, either. I think just being balanced and taking one step at a time, you'll get there. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes down to how bad do you really want it. If you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out a way to do it no matter what your schedule looks like or what you have going on. So I think that's a lot of people's probably pain point is maybe they don't want it bad enough, but they haven't figured out their why and why they're trying to go put in all this hard work. So it's difficult for them to get it done.
Yeah, it's difficult to get motivated when you're not seeing the results, when you can't see the vision, or it takes a little while to get traction, and you're still just out the gate and haven't gotten that first deal or that first check, those things. So I guess it is a little difficult to stay focused for some people, but like you, I get up in the morning, my laptop is right next to my coffee, and before I go to bed at night, that's the last thing I'm looking at is checking my emails and doing what I need to do. And that's just that's what you need to do to be successful, is to be consistent and build those relationships that are going to drag you through, that are going to keep you going as everything kind of pounds out, and sometimes it doesn't, right? You need those connections to keep you going.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's really lonely in this business. So it's so important to have battle buddies, friends, a team that you're constantly talking to and that are going through the trenches with you, because it can feel lonely, it can feel rough, it can knock you down sometimes when you're not seeing the results you want. So in this business, it's it's everything to have that community that is doing the same things you are and that will back you up.
And they back you up, don't they? They really do. Jade. I love it. They do, because, with every one of those communities, it's how can I help? How can I bring value? And to have that mindset going in and extrapolate that across the entire community is a really big deal.
Yeah.
To your point, you need support. And it might just be, hey, I got something done today. Hey, I got up and I did X. And someone to say, good for you, could be the difference between you quitting and sticking it out.
Definitely. Yeah. So what does being successful look like for you? What's a goal that you're after, and what are you hoping to achieve with all of this?
So I mentioned my daughter, to build the company with her. I love working with her. We're one of those teams that actually does work together. So that's a big deal. I want generational wealth, like everybody else, right? I want to be able to eventually retire and know that I have something to show for my work. The W-2 is great, but you sign off at night and it doesn't really matter. What I'm doing matters. With this, it matters. And just right now, I want to looking at those duplexes, looking at some land, because goats and chickens and all that. So we have all those. So I want that. Haley wants to continue with her cat rescue. So all those little pieces and parts we're trying to put together and come up with that piece for us. But the team itself for Creative Credit, it's multifamily. It's just all kinds of stuff diving into there. So I'm just excited to see what happens. Like if I were to say I want to do one thing, I can't, because every time I turn around, there's something that is interesting that I'd love to try, that I'd like to expand on. So yeah, just sort of by the end of the year, I'll have I expect two new properties, so that's my goal. We're working on it, and we'll see what happens.
Where are you looking for buy? Maybe somebody here has a property for you to buy.
I am in North Carolina, and so I want to kind of stick to the East Coast, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, that kind of area. I totally dig the mountains. So that's something that I'd like. I'm hearing West Virginia is somewhere else I need to look. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, mountains. I want to, whatever it is, it has to have a fireplace. I'm just weird like that. I know it's totally weird. It totally doesn't make any sense, but I like my fireplaces.
Yeah. That's really cool. Okay. And do you have any real estate or self-development books that you would recommend that everyone read?
No, I don't. I have that's something that I need to do more, more reading on the ones I have. I really don't feel like anybody hasn't read them. We've got Jamil's, we've got Paces, etc. But everybody's read those. Do I have something that's new and exciting? I don't think I've come across that one that I just said, this is the ticket.
Yeah.
How about you? What's the one that you would go like, this changed my world?
So I started listening to just yet. And I haven't gotten very far, but I can already tell this is going to be a book that I'm recommending to everyone. I've heard Pace recommend it before, and that's what kind of put me on the path of reading it. It's called The Go-Giver. And so it's not the typical where I would say you can kind of get bored with it, like telling you how you should be type of thing. It's in storytelling mode. So it's telling you all these lessons within a story. And I'm probably on chapter 2 at this point, but it's just really talking about how I posted yesterday. So it came up with the law of compensation. So the law of compensation is your income is directly related to how many people you serve and how well you serve them. So good. That really hit me. I had to go back and listen. So just tell us what are those key.
I jumped in there and there was an echo, and I apologize. Yeah, I have heard of that, and I've heard several people recommend it, and that piece, I can attest to that.
Yeah.
It totally makes sense. And sometimes my background is also in publishing, and the more people that I helped, the more stuff I gave away, the more, and it was genuine. It wasn't like with that result in mind. It was, how can I help? How can we change this? What can we do? The more I gave, the more successful I was. And I've seen that over and over again. It is true.
It is.
Yeah. That's great.
I think that can be every area of your life, right? And it is. I think the key is not going in saying, "Oh, if I give this much, I'm gonna make this much money." You're just doing it because I think the book says you do it because it's a way of life and because that's truly fulfilling as a human being, just to live that way. So it's so powerful. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go make this much money, so I need to give this much. Just go do it because you're a human being, and it's how you should live your life, and the money will just naturally come to you. I think that you can see that just looking at Pace, right? I think Pace gives more than anyone I've ever seen in my life, and it shows. And that's not been his goal. It just has happened because people are so grateful for him. So, yeah, really.
100%. It was amazing. The more I gave 16 pages for events, free events, wherever wherever, if you were advertising or not, it was in there. And the more I added and the more people appreciated just to have a place. This is Google it on your phone. There was a time, and it was just my way of giving back to the community, and it just took off, and I got to help people that I never ever thought I'd be in contact with, and it was beautiful. And to this day, that's one of my favorite pieces of my work, and the things that I've done was to build that community on paper, essentially. But having that really made an impact on me. It really did. Yeah. And the people that were around me, it passed on, and it grows. And when people see it, it hits your heart, you know? So I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you see that in the community, right? Whenever we see people giving back, it makes you naturally want to go give back too. It just is, it's interesting how that just rubs off and it creates this effect of everyone wanting to just go give more and do more for each other. So
it's created a culture.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's beautiful.
What do you need your business?
And the echo strikes again.
Say it.
Yeah, please.
What do you most in your business?
What do I need most in my business right now? Okay. I'm going to go back to what you mentioned before, time. I want time to learn more. I want to make more genuine connections. I think that's something that, especially in this community and it growing so much and so quickly, that you come across, hey, let's connect. Hey, let's connect. Hey, let's connect. And having connections is great, but having conversations and relationships is much more important to me. And that's what I want. I want to have these conversations. It doesn't have to be recorded in live. It just needs to be genuine. And that to me is huge. I think that is the one thing that I would like to change, that I would like to, even in the connecting on Facebook, why do you want to connect with me? You know, what do you bring? What is that conversation going to look like? You know? And I love the whole idea with, paying it forward and project forward. Sorry. I love that piece because we can, give those short videos and the links and kind of have that conversation, because when people hop in on your Facebook, you don't know them. Like, am I connected to you? Where did that come from? How did that work? You know, and what does that, what do you need? Like, tell me what you need. Like, just like we're doing now, like, tell me what you need and let me know how I can help you. And that's kind of lost in the mix. It's not like back to, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago when it's like, well, how many friends do you have on Facebook? How many friends do you have? No, I want to hear more about genuinely why you want to connect and what we can do together. And I think that's what I need. I need genuine connections. I need to figure out how to make that primary. You know, I don't need 5,000 connections. I need some genuine ones that really, you know, make you feel like that this is a community. And because I think right now I feel like it's on the verge of being something else, and I don't want it to go down that social media path of, like I said, how many friends do you have? Like, who cares? You know, how many conversations have you had today? How many things, how many lives have you changed? How many things have you said that had impact, and what can you do to move forward? I think that's what I need.
Yeah, I think it's so when you're just like connecting with someone versus like when you're like, oh yeah, I know that person, I've talked to them on the phone once, versus that's my friend, right? Like you actually know stuff about them, you guys talk on a regular basis, whatever that means for you. But yeah, I get messages all the time. This cracks me up. It actually drives me up the wall. So I get messages where they'll see me in a Facebook group or on YouTube or whatever, and they'll message me and all they'll say is, hey Jade. And I'm like, how can I help? What do you need? Right? Like, what is this conversation? So
yeah, I'm with you. That's kind of where I'm at too. It's like, what do you need? I need that. I need genuine, because that's where it all starts, right? I'm never going to have get a deal with or be able to partner with someone who goes, hey Candice, you know, it needs to be a little bit more than that. And and I think that that's something we need to work on. And I think this is a good place to start. You know?
So. I agree. Where's the best place for people to reach out to you and get to connect with you, get to know more about you?
Facebook, but don't just say hey. My email is a great place, and it's Candice at Creative Credit Partner subto.com. When you
Hawaii.
There you go.
That's so funny.
So we're you want me to put it in the chat? That'd be great too. Whatever you want to do. And so yeah, that's good. Thank you, baby.
There we go.
You got it. She's so good at that. Boom. Like I'm talking and she's like firing off those text messages. I love it.
Go email her. Not say hey.
Don't just say hey. I want to hear from you. What can we do together? This could be good.
Yep. Love it.
So much fun. Couldn't hear you.
Anything else you want to add or talk about or go over before we hop off of here?
Gosh, I want to thank you. Thank you for being a great battle buddy and for having this conversation and inviting me. This has been great.
Thank you.
This is gonna be good. Maybe get to Texas or you get up to North Carolina. We'll be able to have a coffee.
Yeah.
But even better it'd be really cool to do something together. Let's do something.
Yeah. I'm always down.
We'll figure it out. First thing I have to do is figure out why my mic is just jacked up the way it is. Here I'm the tech person. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. I've never been on StreamYard before, so maybe my laptop just doesn't like it. So,
yeah, we'll have to figure out so you can come back on.
That would be fun. And I get to ask you more questions because I'm boring. I'd much rather hear about what you're up to. I mean, just the fact that you have accomplished so much, and I don't mean to be ageist, but girl, you're young and you've done everything. Like when it comes to this, like you just jumped in and made it happen. And I want to be like you when I grow up.
We're going to accomplish it all together.
I like that. It's going to be good. We'll be a case study.
Someone said headphones next time. Maybe that'll work.
So I'm on video on Zoom calls, literally 5 to 7 hours a day. Never have a problem. That's the weird part. So this is, I definitely, if we're going to go down this path, need to invest in one or all of the above. But we'll figure it out. But I'm not used to seeing a problem, or hearing a problem literally when it comes to this. So apologies for the technical difficulties, but I will definitely make sure that it is buttoned down next time for sure.
Well, thank you so much. Everyone in the comments. And Candice will be back. So y'all stay tuned for more of Candice on here. She has so much value. Make sure you go email her, hit her up on Facebook, introduce yourself, tell her how you guys can work together. And we will see you guys next time.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye.